I want to talk about backpacks, knapsacks, get-home bags, whatever you want to call them. And I don't know, I might upset some people. And I want to educate you on a backpack for those of you that don't know any better. Now, I made mistakes in the beginning when I started doing prepping years ago, and I understood nothing about backpacks. I mean, I've backpacked ever since I was a kid. I mean, my dad did it. But I never knew a backpack was supposed to be fitted to your back, like a shoe or a glove. Did you know that? I never knew that at all. Let me show you a proper, and that's the name of it, proper, right here. All these straps and everything on it. You see that? That's a proper backpack. They actually used these in the armed forces quite a few years ago. And people swore by them. And there's still guys that have them. Okay? But I want you to look at the back of this, all right? Go this way, this way. Now, you see how that's straight down? And it does allow you to set it a little bit, okay? This pack is the most uncomfortablest pack you can wear. And I'm serious. You put a 40, 50 pound load in that pack and you walk down the road with that, you're going to be bitching. And you're going to be like, wow, that's heavy. And it's not the pack, it's the way the pack is. And anybody who's been in the armed forces that wore those packs would know that. Now, ideally, if you're in the armed forces, you don't want to be, walking 20 miles across country if you don't have to. You want to be in the Jeep or some armored vehicle, so you're not really carrying it that far. But a lot of people will get them, and I've seen them in the back of some people's videos thinking, wow, check out my proper backpack. They're garbage, complete garbage. You are literally buying something to rip your back apart. Believe me or not, I'm telling you. That thing is hung on the wall ever since I found that out. I haven't even sold it, if you notice. Another pack that the Army wears is called the Usmc Pack, which is this one. Now this one is a little better. Notice that big thick hip belt there? A little bit better. And you can fit it, but the only thing I don't like about this one, okay, and these are expensive packs, especially when you buy them on eBay. The only thing I don't like about that pack is it's too big. You put way too much stuff in it. Now, that pack comes in handy. If I got to load stuff up and run it to my truck, all right, that's what that pack's for. It's right on the wall. I can grab it quick and do that. But it's not a pack I would want to be backpacking in. It's not a pack where I want to walk home in. It's not a pack where I want to do any miles with it. Okay? Now this has become my go-to pack. This is a pack made by Cafaro, and it's great. Now if you look, you see this here? Now this is actually going to sit just where your back bows a little bit in there at the bottom. That sits in there nice and comfortable. The belt actually goes across your hips perfectly. And that pack's pretty expensive. I mean, just the pack itself I think is around $300. Then you got to buy the frame, which is around $300. And then if you buy doodads to go on it, I mean, you're into a pretty expensive pack. Some people say you get what you pay for. With that pack, you do. With a Cafaro backpack, you do. But you have to understand, a Cafaro backpack is not light. Okay? You're looking at a 10-pound system before you even put anything in that bag. Now, if you're going to run a 10-pound pack and then you're going to run, say, 20 pounds in the pack, you're good. Now, a Cafaro backpack is designed, it can carry 100 pounds plus. You can separate the pack from the frame. You could put a deer, whatever you've killed in there, strap it down with your stuff, and carry it home. It's really quite a versatile pack for that. They test it, they use it. You can find videos all over YouTube where they'll debone the meat and take all the bone out, and they'll put the meat in bags, and then they'll put it against the pack and tighten it down. There are other packs out there. If I was going to suggest a pack to somebody, I would tell you to go to a camping store, an REI, some backpacking camping store. And I would have a look at the packs there and get them to measure your back. You need to know that measurement. Try a couple and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll be like, wow, this is great. And there's a few of them out there. I mean, usually they start around 150, 300. And then you can get a feel for what's going on. You don't have to buy there. If you look around on Facebook Marketplace and different places, you now know the type of brand you're looking for or the type of pack. And now start looking for the deals. Because a lot of those packs can be adjusted to your back, which in turn will fit your back compared to these other so-called army packs. Now, you'll see a lot of people run a Maxpedition, a 511. There's no hip belt. And a lot of times when they do have a hip belt, it's not designed to go up and down and fit your back. So the bloody hip belt is not sitting on your hips correctly. They look cool. Understand that. The packs look cool when they're all camoed up and they got the pockets on. And every time you add a pocket, you're adding weight. Understand that. Like, for example, my get-home bag sits in my truck. It's probably the lightest pack I carry. I think it's 9 pounds. That's it. And any pack can be used if it's under 10 pounds. Any pack. I don't care if it's 511, Maxpedition, anybody. You can use a school pack for it. You get it at Walmart for $10. Whatever. Now, the reason it's so light is because I'm going to be walking fast and hard. And I'm not looking at into camping. I do have a tarp. I do have a blow-up mat in case it's wintertime that I can lay on. And I put a tarp over me if I am going to crash. Filter water is in there, a couple bars, and what is it, Leco tape or something like that? Basically, it's for blisters. You use duct tape, same thing. And that's it. There's nothing in the pack. It literally is strictly to get me home fast. And that's it. Nothing more. Water's key. No food. I'm not out to have lunch. I need to get home. And a lot of places I drive to are an hour, 2 hours drive. And I'm looking at in between 1 to 2 days to get home. And I'm going to be moving quick. So that's why I don't have this big pack. It's just a go. Now, if I did need to evacuate and I did need to leave for whatever reason, well, these packs are going to be filled, be thrown in the truck, and out we go. If the truck don't work, then I'm going with my Cafaro Backpack. And I'm going with very minimal, and that would be quite scary, to be honest with you. Like everybody says, they want to hunker down. But if you're going to carry a pack, you don't want to screw up your back. And you can do all the research on the internet you want. You can go to REI. You can ask them, should I get my back measured? And every single person is going to tell you yes. Your back must be measured, just like your shoes, just like your gloves. You put a pair of bad shoes on yourself and you got to walk, 100 miles. You're going to find out what those shoes do to your feet very quickly. And on a keynote, you should always buy your shoes a size bigger because your feet will start to spread out when you start walking, in case you didn't know that. Now, I also carry a pair of shoes in my vehicle. They're hiking shoes. I have a pair of rubber boots in my truck. I mean, my truck is like, I don't know, it's like a tow truck. But if I got to leave my truck behind, then I'm going with a very light pack, under 10 pounds. I'm going with proper footwear, and I'm going to make sure that any blisters I get, I can cut, or I can actually have my Leco tape too, and it'll actually allow me to get home. Because my feet are the best thing to getting home. That's it. It's not about having this 50-pound backpack. Now, when I pack my Cafaro Backpack, I usually keep it under, it's about 20 pounds, and that's without food or water. My water goes on my hips, and it depends how much food I'm taking. You don't measure food and water because it's always going down. And I picked up a couple things I got coming in. It's going to take a couple weeks to get here where I can actually take my camera with me because my Canon R6 camera here is limited to 25 minutes of video, and then it heats up. I had to pick up what's called a Ninja 5 monitor. And I can put this whole new setup on my camera to where it allow me to have minimum 3 hours of video, so I can get some pretty cool video. And I'll take it out and show you guys. But I'm just waiting for some stuff to come in for the camera to do that. But when you're picking up a backpack, any backpack will do, like I said, under 10 pounds. If you don't need much. But if you're going to be into 20, 30 pounds, and if you've never carried a backpack before, if you've never done this, all right, and you did it when you were a kid, you better make that pack as light as you can. You know, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, they say your biggest three are your pack, your shelter system, and I forget the other one. Huh. Anyhow, your pack and your shelter system is your two big ones. Now, you can get tents out there that's super light, but you're going to spend big money. And again, the lighter you go with a tent, I mean, you got Cuban fiber out there, it weighs almost nothing, but it sweats like a pig, and you're going to get soaking wet. Tents come in all different varieties, from super light to super heavy till 6 pounds. I mean, when you start getting into tents, I mean, I've got tents that range all over the place. And I've got one particular tent that I take with me backpacking. I think it weighs in at like 3 pounds. By the time I get everything in it, I think is what it is. But my tent is a 3-man, which in turn allows me to put my dog inside my tent. You know, and that you have to consider too. How many people are you carrying? Like if you got a family of 4, you may need a 6-pound tent, but now you're going to take that tent and you're going to split the load between 4 people with 4 packs, is what you're going to do. And that's a must. So you really got to give it some thought, and don't go on videos you're seeing on YouTube thinking I need a rat trap and I need this and that, and you know, I got to have all this crazy stuff. You only need one thing, and that's water. If you can get water, you're going to stay alive. A good pair of traveling shoes, you know, running shoes, hiking shoes, something that feels good on your feet. Make sure they're broke in already, and something to protect your feet. Now, do you need other things could be used to make your life more comfortable? Sure. You know, tent and heaters, and you got to carry all that. That's weight. You got one goal when you're making a get home bag, and that's to get home as quick as possible and put the bare minimum of what you need so you can go. And that means keeping it under 10 pounds, period. Anything over that, you got too much. That's all there is to it. Like even me carrying a tarp and a pad, do I really need that? I mean, no, I don't. I mean, I could curl up beside a tree and go to sleep. The only reason I brought the tarp inside is in case it's pouring, so I can set up the tarp and get a break from the weather. That's about it. Even sleeping under the tarp, I still risk getting chewed up by mosquitoes and everything. I've done that before. You put a good blanket over you, but even those space blankets, they suck. But they'd be good enough to get you home and a get-home bag to cover you up so you get to keep the bugs off you if you feel like you need some sleep. Now, one thing that's going on right now is you got all these heat waves going on. I'm sure you've seen them all over the news. And the problem with the heat waves is once you go above 100 degrees, your body can't take it. You have to understand your weather, and you have to look at your weather just like you would if it was wintertime. The sun is just as dangerous. Anything over 100 degrees, I would not be hiking or walking home. And that's the honest truth. I mean, I would be hunkered down somewhere along a stream. I'd wet my t-shirt, wet my body down, keeping the breeze going. I mean, anything to keep the heat down off my body. And then when nighttime came, I would pack up, 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I would move it, and then I would book. And when morning started coming in, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd set my tarp up again and kick back and just try and find a stream or something and just kick back and wait again. The heat will kill you. And it'll make you move so slow it's ridiculous, especially on kids. Heat is horrible on them. It would take them down hard and fast. So you really got to keep an eye on that. But don't think you need these great big bags, because when you put them on your back, you're going to find out real quick. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this, though, is backpacks require you to be fitted. That's it. You can't just buy any backpack. You can't go buy a 511 and expect it to work because you think it's cool looking and you want to hang all these pockets off of it. You look like an idiot. Okay, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't have a clue what you're doing. The backpack has to fit you. Now, Osprey is a pretty good backpack. There's some other ones out there. And they allow you to adjust them and fit them to you. And everybody's different. Some people have more curve to themselves. Some people have a straighter back. You would be quite surprised at how technical it gets when you want a proper fitting backpack. And a proper fitting backpack, you won't even know it's there. When I put that Cafaro backpack on, even though it weighs 10 pounds and I throw another 20 pounds in it, I don't even feel it. It really weighs about 5 pounds on my back. And doing 10 miles with that is nothing. But when you do 10 miles in like that proper backpack I showed you, oh my God, that feels like you're doing 100 miles. That thing just wears the hell out of you. So it's the same as having a bad pair of shoes on that's creating blisters, just like having a bad pack on. You want to make sure everything that you're wearing when you have to hike at home is very comfortable. And that's all there is to it. And it has to work within your seasons. Because, I mean, wintertime's totally different. You're going to carry more weight in the wintertime if you're stuck sleeping out there. And it's going to cost you big money. You're going to need some heavy-duty, down or whatever to keep you warm. And it depends where you are in what area. Now, I'm in Tennessee. We might get down to 0. We really don't get that cold. I could prop myself up against a tree with a winter coat and go to sleep, and I'd be just fine. And I would actually prefer if something happened in the winter, because now I'm not dealing with the bugs or the heat. Dealing with the cold's a whole hell of a lot easier. But when it's summertime like it is right now and it's hot, oh man, you'll do 1 or 2 miles and you'll just feel like hell warmed over on you. It's hell. And you'll drink a lot of water. And as soon as you lose your water source, you'll be like, oh, what do I do now? And then you're into electrical lights and stuff like that. But when you get your pack, make sure it fits properly. Don't run any of these old Army packs, 511s, Maxpedition, any of these so-called knockoff China type of packs they're making out there because they look cool. They're going to kill your back. Look into actually getting a pack that fits your back. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, search YouTube on fitting a pack to your back. Just go look at how many videos are out there. And you'll see what I'm talking about. And you're going to want something that really hugs your hips really nice, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, when I'm walking with a load, it's on my hips. It's not up here. These straps, that's just to keep it held there. That's it. Yeah, there's even a space back here in my straps when I got my pack on. And, the only time I'll move it to my straps is I'll undo my hip and then tighten up my straps and put everything on my shoulders. It's just to give my hips a break for a couple minutes. And then I'm switching back again. And you have to be able to move this stuff freely. It's just like you have these tools to make your life easier when you're carrying that pack. And the lighter you make that pack, the better. Every time you put something in it, bad. Okay, so, and normally what I'll try and do when I pack a pack, maybe I need to make another video on this because this one's getting pretty long, is I'll make another video on that when I pack my pack. And I'll show you why I'm doing what I'm doing. And you'll get the gist of it. I put everything in compartments basically, and then I figure out what I'm going to do. And then I have a section that says luxury. There is a luxury section. But make sure the pack you buy or the pack you're going to use for whatever it is, getting home, bugging out, whatever, make sure it fits to your back. And you're going to thank me. And I'm going to get somebody who's going to say, I have that USMC pack. I have that proper pack. It's just fine. There's always somebody. I'm telling you, if those people actually go and get a proper pack put on their back, they will turn around and say, oh my God, that guy was right. And they will know it quite quickly. Why wear yourself out if you don't have to? You want to be as comfortable as you can with the pack you have. And don't buy a pack because it looks pretty. Don't just do it for that. It has to serve a purpose in what you're using it for. And so get your pack measured, go to REI. Now, like I said in the beginning, you don't need to buy that, okay? You can go to garage sales, and if all of a sudden you see an Osprey pack there, somebody's got for $40, $50, or selling it in Marketplace on Facebook or someplace, that pack adjusts for backs. So now you could buy that, and now adjust it for your back, and now you've got the proper pack. But if you buy a pack that doesn't allow the adjustability and doesn't have a very good hip belt to wrap around those hips, then you're defeating the purpose of having something really nice. So pick up the right pack, get your back measured, and you're going to thank me later. I'll catch you guys on the next one.